Okay, so this is me sitting out here in the shade with a little GoPro Hero camera that Josh gave me a while back. Yesterday, some of y'all might have seen this. I put up a video about how, well, it wasn't, I didn't put up a video about how it got broke, but that the DJI Osmo pocket camera got broke and wasn't working. And I've had to send it back to the factory to get it fixmacated, which is okay. I mean, you know, these things happen. It's a more fragile camera than, you know, back in a long time ago. I used a lot of these sort of unbreakable cameras, and they was real good. But over time, you know, video quality gets better, and you don't realize how much it matters until you look at some old videos that are all grainy and you can hardly see them, and look at some new videos that are, you know, looking pretty good. So anyway, I got a friend coming to town tomorrow. Her husband was a pastor of a church that I used to belong to, and it was the first church that led me sort of back to church after a lot of years of not going to church. I was a rebellious child, not really like the prodigal son kind of rebellious, more like you know, I got all grown up and I've been in church all my life, and I got a chance to go out and drive a trailer truck, and I took a look around at what was going on out there, and I thought, man, I like all of this, and wound up kind of leaving home and being gone and being on the road, and sort of was I was not present and accounted for. I was more like absent and unaccounted for, and my folks didn't know where I was, and you know, and that was okay. I mean, that was okay for me. My mama didn't like it much, but you know, it just was what it was. Anyway, at a certain point, after I kind of started settling back down a little bit, emergency flashers is on, and I don't know how I turned them on. There you go. I got back. I was living in Maine, and there was this preacher of a little church that somebody took me to, and it was called Grace Bible Fellowship, and it was all about grace. This pastor, his name was Louis Revito, and I never heard him preach a sermon where he didn't talk about grace or find grace in the message somehow. And I'd grown up with a lot of good sermons, but just never knew a pastor that could take any old part of the Bible and he'd find the grace in it, preach a sermon on it. That was a little bit amazing to me, because I was needing a little grace, I felt like, at that time. You know, I had kind of lived my life in a way that had led me to feeling like maybe I wasn't heading down the road I should have been heading on anyway. But I won't go into too much detail about that. But what did happen is that after a time, he got some kind of bad disease. I don't know what it was. It could have been cancer or something. His wife nursed him along. He stopped preaching. His wife nursed him along till he died. He died a few years ago. And she'd been in another state living on her own since then. But she's coming to town tomorrow. And I told her I'd take her up to the airport and let her borrow my car while she's here. Oh, the door just closed on my foot. I just figured I'd get out here and clean the car up a little bit. You know, it's not up to lending out standards right now. It's kind of dirty, and a little cleaning up would be good thought. So that's what I'm doing here. Just give it a little clean it up. Go down and pick her up tomorrow. Give her the keys. No, she could sleep in the RV and stay here if she needed a place to stay, but she got that all wired up, so that's good. There might be some music involved. Jason, who some of y'all know, I built a banjo bass for him, and he helped me put that cross up on top of the local church here. I ran into him yesterday, and he's talking about coming over tomorrow, maybe picking some bass, guitar, and some banjo together. And oddly enough, Monique, the lady that's coming, she's been looking to get together with me and sing a song. She's got a song that I think she wrote. She wanted to put it to music, and she said she wanted me to do some banjo music on it. She remembered me from back in the day when I used to go to church, you know, there. So I said, sure, I'd be happy to do that. It might wind up that all of us are here at the same time tomorrow. You I might be able to play a little banjo and get Jason to play a little bass and get her to sing, and oh, that could just have wonderful repercussions there. So that's what we're on to with that. I am in here thinking I could wash the windows. I think I mentioned I'm using this camera that I got from Josh, so it don't have any kind of stand on it, but it could have if I wanted to put one up, but I didn't want to. I kind of prop it up, it works. I figured I'd wash the windows a little bit, and all of that. So I'm loaning this thing out. I got some other things I'm going to do in a little bit. I want to hook a radio up in the hot rod now. I'll talk a little bit more about that when I get over there, but I'll do this first. A little bit of this here. Oh, the joy. So I just want to say the good Lord's been good to me today. I got up and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do today. It's the 4th of July and we're going to do something with friends, family later on. So I didn't want to get all greasy and stuff and then have to stop and go do something else. That's when I got the message that my other friend was coming from out of state. And that kind of led me to cleaning the car up, which gave me something to do. And the other thing is I love doing stuff for folks when God directs me to. And it seems like a pretty well-directed thing to be doing. Helping out the preacher's wife, you know. So I like that. I like that real good. So with that said, maybe I ought to wash these windows. They got Charlie tracks all over them. Oh Lordy, look at all of them. Yeah, let's wash some more windows in here. Get y'all over here now. I got the car running. You might have noticed that it's a little hot here today, especially if you're out in the hot sunshine. That's why I pulled over here up in the shade. And I got the air conditioning running here. By the way, I'm using this spray away stuff. I did a video on this the other day about how good it is. I still agree it's good. It's the goodest thing I found. I went out and bought me a bunch of it. But it's real good and I like it a lot. That's a little better. Probably if I wash the outside, that'd be even more better than that. What was I about to say? Something important, I'm pretty sure. I found, pardon me while I choke on the fumes here, that doing something for other people that God directs me to do makes me happier than just doing something for myself or doing nothing. And this morning I thought about pulling the motor out of the rat rod, and I thought about going and getting some lumber. Well, lumberyard's probably closed because it's 4th. I thought about getting some lumber and doing some stuff in the back room, different things. But then this phone call came in. I said, oh, I can do this. I can go wash your car. And then I can go put the radio in the hot rod in Mike's car. That'll give me something to do that I won't get too dirty at. And it'll give me a chance to talk to y'all about God and being kind to people and all. Oh, we're sitting right next to the Jeep. Some of y'all might be sitting there thinking, but what about the Jeep? Well, I ain't forgot about the Jeep. Y'all just don't be impatient. I got a lot of things on my to-do list, you know. And I'm going to get to the Jeep. It ain't hurting nothing sitting there. It's happy. It's sitting there with flowers growing up around it. So y'all don't get beside yourselves or anything like that over the Jeep. I'm going to take good care of it. I think with that said, I'll actually just leave this car sitting right here. It's a shady spot. I'll leave it sit right here. And we'll move on to the other car, the Studebaker. And we'll work on it some. Okay? Any questions? If y'all got any questions, just write a letter to 63 Impala 2-door out in Washington State. I think he's up in Winnehatchee or someplace like that. Give him a $100 bill. He gets $100 for any time he answers questions for me. And, you know, he does my light work. So just send him a message and ask him the question. He'll contact me and ask me, and then I'll tell him the answer, and then he can get back in touch with y'all. So that $100 is a handling fee. It takes a lot to handle messages and things. So if y'all got any questions, just, you know, like I say, send them off to 63 Impala 2-door. I usually send them off to Cutworm, but I just thought I'd give, you know, 63 Impala could probably use the work. I mean, he's You know, he only works 2 or 3 months a year, so he could probably use the money. So we just try to be good to him too. We like to spread the wealth. We like to spread it around. That's what I'm saying. We like to spread it around. Okay. See if I got any dead bodies in the back or anything like that. Well, it ain't too bad. I just got some shooting paraphernalia and such as that. So yeah, we're all right. Okay.